Good afternoon. My name is Thomas Hardy. Today, I would like to consider the setting and environments in Heat, more so than the traditional focus on characters and plot in a narrative. Why, you may ask? Well, in case that you were not made aware of this, the external localities of a narrative can act as a character in of themselves, and viewing a text from the eco-critical point of view reveals a whole other level of textual depth that is often glossed over in many conventional readings. To reach this transcendental level of analysis, however, we must stop ourselves from internalizing the external realm. In my own school of naturalism, we believe that there is no divine order ruling over nature, and the deterministic forces at play during natural disasters are not governed by us as men. That being said, we mustn't characterize nature as natural, because in reality, there is no natural state of existence.
So, if I might add, in relationship to heat, I think we can see the interplay of these natural forces you speak of in the story rather clearly. Perhaps most significantly is the all-encompassing presence of heat energy in the narrative, which seems to vampirically drain the energy of many of the story's characters. It was the oppressive summer heat that drove the Kunkel twins to Whipple's ice house for refreshment, which ultimately led to their untimely death.
Right. And later the narrator describes the burdensome, hot, stifling atmosphere in the funeral parlor during the twins' viewing. This heat seems to make the narrator regress and think back to the events surrounding the twins' demise later in life, as she often has flashbacks during the scandalous intercourse she holds out of wedlock in upcoming settings, such as the steamy interior of the gentleman's car on page 152.
Yes, those are good observations. In the story, Heat can be read as an antagonist, in fact, and Roger Whipple becomes the innocent catalyst that helps to orchestrate the twins' untimely death. Furthermore, the schema of environmental entropy can be seen taking a vampiric drain on the characters of the story as well, especially the twins. In these entropic settings, the environment is able to effectively affect the characters and the narrative plot through mediums like harsh or buffeting environmental conditions.
Okay, so that's like on page 145, where the entropic aura of the field behind the school makes the twins scream at the sight of the dead dog.
Also, earlier the narrators tell us that the twins were eventually buried in another entropic field, which acted as a cemetery behind the church.
Spot on! The effect that environs have on characters is readily apparent throughout the whole corpus of literature. Take my own Return of the Native, for example. In the novel, the setting of Egdon Heath is described as a desolate, dreary, and existentialist wasteland, and its expansiveness and majesty ultimately takes the lives of its inhabitants. Every single death was orchestrated by the Heath, including Mrs. Yeobright's death from the bee sting, and the death of Damon Wildeave and Eustacia Vi by drowning in the lake. In fact, Eustacia's death was due to the fact that she was so disillusioned with the Heath and its sublime monotony that she was compelled to commit suicide. In conclusion, we must always consider the external and internal characteristics in a narrative on a parallel basis if we are to arrive at an adequate level of comprehension in any work of literature. Thank you.